Hello there, gang. Devere here, another past blast. Nosferatu, the Wrath of the Malachi. A horror FPS, no less. Now, option-wise, well, you don't get any. So, you've got outside of some rebindable controls. I'll also tell you F1 to toggle the music on and off, F2 for invert mouse, and you change this mouse sensitivity in-game with F3 and F4. F5 is quick save and F6 is quick load. You will want to remember those keys, F6 and F5, for sure. And then just 1 to 9 to select weapons. So let's dive on with a new game. I'll skip the intro. I'll just play it easy for this. Constructing a random castle. Sort of not completely true. I'll explain that in a minute though. And we're in. So if we come back here quickly, you'll notice some cases. Those are some wooden stakes we just picked up. Each of those cases has an owner. If I hold tab, there are family members. So basically, the story is, our sister, the silly Moo, has got herself engaged to a wrong'un. It's Count Dracula, or some such. Our family and friends have been abducted, and they're due to be sacrificed to the chief vampire. Our job is to try and save them. All straightforward enough, as we'll see soon enough. Or is it? Oh, thanks for dropping in.
Oh, James.
So he just tells you more of the story. That some have been kidnapped and taken to the East Tower, some have been taken to the West.
Bring Dr. Amersfield.
So there's a crucifix as a weapon. Forgot to grab my sword from my case. Yes, so each family member and friend, for example the priest there, if we can find Dr. Amersville, it will save him, and I recommend you do, because he gives you one of the best weapons in game early on. As it gets saved, we're taken back there to their cases, and they will give us a reward, hopefully. However, this is one of the areas this game innovates, and does quite a good job of it. Each family member has a set allotted time. You'll see at the top left there I have a compass and a time limit. Each family member has a specific time where they will be sacrificed. If you do not save them by then, they are dead. And that is all there is to it. So the priest there, for an example, I only have half an hour to find a doctor and get the doctor back to him, or he will die and he will be dead for good. Ah, there he is. So the sword's good for a bit longer range. And over there is a coffin. What would a coffin contain in a vampire game? Luckily you can stake them before they get up if you have some wooden stakes. Now of course some of your relatives do have a set time to die, but they're always in the same location. This is one of the other areas this game was quite novel in. And it said about randomising castle. The castle is the same layout every time, but where the items and where your relatives are, and where the enemies and enemy types are always randomised each playthrough. I'll let him get behind me too quick. Got to be a bit careful. You'll also see bottom left I have a stamina meter. So if you swing your sword too fast, do too much jumping, you want, oh, come on, just die. Oh, it's something quick and spamming to death. And we've got ourselves another weapon. Obviously weapon types. You get some physical weapons such as your pistol, good for fighting physical enemies. Items like the crucifix here are better for the supernatural. Some enemy types, obviously this chap here wouldn't have been harmed by the crucifix at all. Certain enemy types later on will not be harmed by physical weapons. So it's got some good inventive ideas going on. Oh, and that little chappy there, if we find the right relative, we can get given a key, we can set him free. He's our dog. He'll be a companion for us. So yeah, it does attempt to do quite a few interesting little things. With its within its limited means. This was released back in 2003 by Idle FX, a small Swedish game developer. Is that just one I'm going to fight? See here, it's only one. I might pummel him with my fists. Get combos. So most stuff is randomised, but it's not just per gameplay, it's per save. So for example, if I come in here and I found a relative, and say I got killed, but I'd saved there at this door, come back in and they might not be there anymore. I didn't overturn my mouse that much. As you can see, they hit quite hard, and this is on the easy level. I'll take that health kit. So it's a bit of a small problem with the age of the game. If you've maxed out your health or ammunition, and you walk over a pickup, you still end up taking it all. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely take that. See there, because that was a large medikit, I've now got overcharged health, and it's going down rapidly. Oh, that's the chap we want that for. Alright. All dealt with. So of course, graphically is one area it does that a lot as well. It likes to sabotage your enemies. Just because you've cleared an area doesn't mean to say it's safe. Not at all. Because that's one of the other challenges. Not only is once you find a relative, not only do you have a set time they're going to die at, you've got to then get them back to that safe zone we looked at where I picked up the stakes at the beginning. And they can be killed on the way back there. So one of the other twists of this game, obviously you don't get the items they would have given you to make your game easier. But every time one of them gets killed, the end boss gets tougher. Now you can click these little books, they just tell you different ways of defeating different enemies. I already know how to do that, so I won't worry about that. Yeah, there's a lot of inventive little mechanics going on here in this game. However, there's also unfortunately a few problems. First one mainly, I mean obviously graphics. It's 2003, wasn't developed by a big games house. Oops, there's a pooch. I'll use my sword for him. Devil dog. So they're not exactly outstanding back in the day. They're certainly not now. Oh, should have grabbed those earlier on. Some weapons for my flintlock pistol. But there's also some problems with the pathfinding. Right, destroy these things as fast as you can. So we keep spamming enemies at you, these portals. But you get a good selection of enemy types. Unfortunately, the AI can be... See, they'd like to do that one, yep. They do like to drop the odd ambush. Oh, talking of ambush, usually behind the door. There we go, dealt with. Along with managing your stamina. But the AI pathfinding can also be a bit wacky. Sometimes the AI getting caught on corners of buildings, that sort of thing.
Oh, thank God you're here, James.
Ah, Tramsfield. Yeah.
Get us out of here,
Right.
James.
Follow. What's this got in it? Actually, I'll take that health. If we can get him back to the priest, he'll save the priest and we'll get another weapon. But also, there's been some mention in the Steam forums, I noticed from a lot of people, that there's been some bugs in game with checkpoints not triggering. No, I've not. Let's see if we can stun him. No, didn't. Missed. So, obviously, some enemies won't be stunned by it. Some enemies can be killed by it. Come on, keep moving. Here you might get to see the AI at its finest. Yeah, it can get jammed up on doors and corners. But yeah, some people have been mentioning that certain, especially after boss fights, certain events are not happening or characters are disappearing. And I did have an AI dog go missing on me at one point. Let's sit you down, because I don't want to go near my matey boy there. Come on, keep your pace up. It didn't actually go missing, this dog. It sort of... I could hear it. I could hear it barking and moving around. I just couldn't see it for a while. It wasn't attacking me. And it sort of reappeared in. Come on, this way. Quick, quick, quick. And then, of course, there's the fact you've got this big time limit on it. That, of course, may or may not put people completely off the game. Come on, down here, sort this dude. Yeah, we don't need to read all that blah, blah, blah. So now we get hopefully back here. Oh, and you can't just leave them around the castle. If you rescue one and leave them, a wandering monster will kill them. So you do have to get them back here.
Thanks
now, of
for
course...
rescuing me, James. Now hurry. Go and find the others before we run out of time. Come back here if you Here's a little something for that wound with the wounds.
The doctor will always heal you. That's a good thing.
God bless you for bringing me here, James. But don't leave your family in the claws of the devil. Hurry up and save them.
Having this chalice will make your life so much easier, especially early game and boss fights. It's the most powerful weapon in the game. To use it, get your crucifix, which you always get given at the beginning of the game. Find some water. Once you bless it, and then fill up the chalice. And that's now the most powerful weapon in game. It'll certainly make your early game easier, because you do need to keep the pace up if you're gonna Peter Cushing all the vampires and try and save all your relatives. And you will need to do a little bit of save scumming, because not only do you have to rescue them at a certain point after, I think it's the 15th, might be the 14th guess you rescue, the game will automatically forward time to 6 in the morning for the boss fight. So you have to rescue the last two at the same time. If you try and do them one at a time, you will definitely lose a relative, which is can be fun. That's what I say about using the quick save and quick load a lot. So I go this way, or was it this way I was going to go? So it's a very big castle. It's got a lot of areas to explore. Yeah, it loves doing things like that to you. Machine gun ammo, some pistol ammo. I'll have that. You do have to be careful with your ammo counts though, because, as I mentioned, it'll once you reach an ammo level, if you have the maximum 200 pistol bullets and you pick up another round, the box will go missing, but you won't get any added to your inventory. So you need to sort of manage your loads and your ammo counts. That was a bit silly because it's a dog. That won't allow it. What I did was made him wet. Yeah, because it is utterly random each and every time. Need the garrison key as to what enemies are going to be in each area. Now I wanted my sit down. It's still a dog. Still not going to get killed by it. Certainly makes sort of weapons management a bit challenging when you've got multiple enemies, because as you've seen, they can hit fast and they can hit quite hard. Oh, now I definitely want the chalice. Oh, now I want something like the pistol. Where are you? This is a good chance to show you up. Another little pro tip. Now you might see I have 0 down at the bottom right there. I have 0 bullets in this pistol. If I press 4 again to bring out my key, I suddenly have 1. Pistols, the flintlock weapons, the flintlock pistol and the flintlock musket actually stack. So the more of them you pick up, the more of them you carry. Which is something, because unfortunately you can only carry a maximum of 30 ammunition for the flintlock stuff. So worth remembering that. Let's hope there's some health in there. Oh, that's been very generous. It doesn't normally give you this much health. Again, because it's all randomised. Oh, great. Let's try and put an end to that because it's... Now, let's get the old chalice out. Oh, yeah, the enemies move fast, can jump far, and hit hard. So I think we're about to conclude our dealings here. So how well has this game stood the test of time? Well, it's still very inventive. You still have absolutely no idea what enemies you're getting, where your relatives, outside of some key relatives who will always be in the same place. Where your relatives are going to be, where the items you need to progress are going to be. It's all... So it keeps the game quite fresh. The castle itself is very big, well laid out. Of course, then it's the time limit. If you want to try and get the maximum, because you really do want to try and save as many of your relatives as you can for the little bonuses and weapons they'll give you to make your game a lot easier. And the fact that every time they get killed, your end boss fight will get tougher and more challenging. You will have to be quite rapid on the... Yeah, it's only a point-blank weapon. Obviously, it's water. It's not a machine gun. It's yeah. That could be a deal breaker for some people. You are on a time limit. Stopping to look around and explore is not really an option if you want to get the easiest maximum out of the game. Of course, you could take your time, but there's the other catch. After I think it's 6 or it might be 7 relatives have been killed. If any more get killed after that, then the game automatically ends because the enemy now is now immortal. The big end boss is basically immortal and can't be killed. So you also lose. So there's a lot of limits in this game. Graphics, yeah, okay, that definitely does show its age, but the controls themselves are smooth. And use the F3 and the F4 keys to change your mouse sensitivity. I just tend to whack it hard until it feels good. That came out wrong. I've got to be careful, I'm almost out of ammunition. I'm almost out of health here. Good grief. Let's hope it's going to carry on being generous with those health kits. So it's a tough one to call, really. It's got a lot of intriguing mechanics, some good enemy types. You'll also get some more tough ones as you get further in deeper into the castle. Good weapon selection. In fact, you can't just use one OP weapon to kill everything. You'll have to use some weapon management. You've got the stamina mechanic down the bottom as well, so you can't just go around spamming your sword endlessly. Although, strange enough, you can with your fists. Oh, and those wooden stakes are great for killing vampires. Definitely what you need. Oh no, I thought fists didn't increase your stamina. They do. So it's... And there's of course the pathing issues and possibly the fact that you might not have some cutscenes trigger forcing you to either reload the game from an earlier point or possibly restart the game from scratch. I mean, this game was known kind of for its bugs back in the day. But it does add a lot of new and interesting inventive mechanics, which begs the question is why we can't get something like that in this modern days. A modern game is pretty usually predictable, dull and predictable in comparison. Where the enemy and the AI are, you learn it all by rote and then just repeat, rinse, repeat. Whereas this keeps things quite fresh. That's only a couple of pooches. Oh, by the way, don't think you can just run away from into a different room. Dogs, obviously, you can, but most of the other enemy types, such as him, if I go through here, he should possibly follow me. Although he's a sniper, he might not. No, there you go. Let's see who's better to shot. Oh, he is. He is the better shot by quite a lot. I forgot to reload and I forgot to switch to my other pistol. There we go, gang. Nosferatu, the Wrath of Malachi. I like it. It's not a horror survival that some people call it. It is a full FPS shooter with a horror setting. But yeah, with some really good, neat mechanics. Just some bugs and glitches. But it's not expensive. It's about $6.99 when it's not on a sale. So it's not like it's a deal breaker. Won't set you back much. Apparently there is a widescreen fix. I'm just playing this out of the box, so it's all a bit stretched and distorted. But apparently there is a widescreen fix available, but I've not tried it, so I can't verify it. But there should be some links on some forums to follow if you want to try it. So again, I think we'll conclude our dealings here. Hopefully this has shed some light on the Prince of Darkness for you. Basically run round, kill enemies, rescue people. Every time you see a vampire, give it a good Peter cushioning with a stake. Lovely jubblies. So again, hopefully you found that video useful and entertaining, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to let me know you're alive, and I shall see you all next time. Bye now.